As top of the moment to every eye where they watch us. Today will be Tuesday. You know what they take and do nothing but a property matter with engineer Debo Adejana. I would say Sabio as far as everything we get to do with property they concern. Today, you don't carry us go another level, but before we go that way, make our first welcome and properly. You're welcome to the studio, sir.
Welcome. Thank you so much, Chief. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. You?
Good. Very well. Very well as usual. Good morning, viewers. How are you doing? And how has it been? I know that we've been monitoring Ukraine and Russia, but then, we thank God for peace. I mean, in times like this, that's when you appreciate the peace that you have, We pray for them also that this conflict will be resolved very, very soon. So, hope you've been enjoying our episodes after episode after episode. Last week we talked about rent hike.
Yes.
And even though we didn't have so much room for people to call in, but the feelers we got is that, man, rent is on the increase. Rent is on the increase. I was still doing the calculation in the office yesterday, just to try to quickly appraise a project, And just using the rule of thumb, do you know that? So I called my QS just to be sure that my figures are correct.
Your quantity surveyor?
Yes, quantity surveyor, just to be sure that the figures we're working with are correct. And there is a project we did some time ago, let's say about 2020, let's put it that way. Our construction cost, rule of thumb, was like around 250,000 per square meter. Just roughly 250,000 per square meter, meaning that if we are doing like 100 square meter, we'll be doing like about 250
million, sure.
Yes. Okay. So to build that 100 square meter of property. Now, no, 25 million. No, it's 25 million. Oh. 250,000 square meter.
250,000
per square meter.
Okay, 250,000 per square meter. And you are doing how many?
If we are doing 100 square meter.
You are doing 100.
100 square meter. It will just be 25
million.
Yeah, so 25 million. That it will cost us to do that. So I was now trying to appraise a particular proposal we had, and guess what? I just called him to our farm, and he said, look, rule of thumb right now for that area, the same kind of area, is going to be like about 350 to 400. Because it's simple. I mean, before I called him, I was talking with some of my guys, and they were like, it's not that high.
Looking at
they were thinking,
35 million
They were
now.
thinking it shouldn't be that high. I said, is that high? Is that high because reinforcement is a major input in construction. It has gone up by over 100%.
Sure.
Between that 2020 and now. Cement is a major input.
4,000
it has also gone
now.
up by like 80%, 70 to 80% between that 2020 and now. So
granite,
sand, all of those things, they've gone up. By the time we called the QS and he said minimum is between 350 and 400. I said, you see?
You are looking at 35 million
I
to
said,
40
you see,
million.
and it was a kind of joint venture transaction that we were appraising. So obviously, by the time we put our figures together, it won't be worth it for the landowner, neither will it be worth it for us. It will be better we just buy the land off him and do the development. Because by the time we are proposing the value of his land versus what we need to bring on it, the cost will be so, he won't get so much that he will consider as value. Because right now he's looking at his land, he's saying, land in that area, land on that area. But by the time we put the construction cost on it, that will optimize the use of the land. His value of land versus value of what we are going to put will make whatever he's going to get almost pay into
nothing.
Insignificance, So we're just advising ourselves regarding that project. So rent hike, there is no way you are going to be building at that kind of price. Because another thing we're considering in that neighborhood when we did our research, some market prices were like 400, so, and there is a particular guy that was doing service but was doing 1 million. So my guys were wondering why. By the time we put the figures together, we now realize that's why this guy is charging 1 million. Because for investors, it will not be attractive less than about 700,000. And he's doing service, meaning you will have to consider all the services input and all. So his rent is 1 million. It's just.
And
it
funny
just
enough,
makes
people are going for it.
the place is fully occupied. No,
Wow.
you know, like we said, shortage is shortage. We are not even talking about return on investment regarding that transaction. It should be manageably good. But the challenge with that particular transaction is that it's a joint venture. The landowner will not appreciate the value that he will get, because his land value versus the value of construction that we are going to put there is just too much. You know, and if we put something less, you know, it may not be worth
your own investment.
It may not be worth. It may not be optimal use of the land, and we won't get good return on it. So,
because what you put there, if it's less, that's what will determine how they will price it.
Yeah, that's what will determine what you even get. Whether you are selling it or you are whatever, that's what will determine what you know. So
okay. Today you want to take us into land disputes. Land disputes now something we be say since when we dey small. You don't dey since village. Only one jajale say this family and that family. Let me get this one. Let me get that one. The thing it can't evolve to the extent that in this modern days now, it never even still finish. Land dispute the day.
Sorry, Chief, to even call you. Village is even far. When you say one village to the other, within family
now, I say when we dey village.
I understand. You say
Ebi.
Okay.
Two families.
Two families is even okay. I'm saying that even within the family.
Where you go say ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, àbúrò mi.
Yes. Within husband and wife.
Husband and wife they get land dispute.
If divorce enter, God forbid.
That's true.
Tí
wọ́n ti jọ dáwó rà ni.
Yes. Within husband and wife, within brothers and siblings, within government and citizens, you know, within
nations,
village, state, local government to local government, nations of the world, continents
of the world.
You know,
because
so it just cuts across like that.
When you talk about this one way you say between brother to brother, you remind me of one way it happen when we did small for you. Maybe say the brother, real life story, real life story new, too serious.
Because when you mention Oyo, that's why I laugh. Okay, let me. Okay.
So the brother, he do younger brother, he do something for elder brother.
Okay.
Elder brother, he can't happy.
Okay.
So monthly once for now, but he happy.
Okay.
So out of the joy, he comes okay. That my land where they for Papa, because one place they for your way they call Papa.
Okay.
You know Papa. You know Okpakpa. Okpakpa na popular place for you. Say that my land where they for Okpakpa.
Okay.
Say
that's so then they call him Okpakpa.
Go call him with emphasis. Okpakpa. Now you get it. You get it. You're good to there. Okpakpa for you.
Okpakpa is Okpakpa. Which one
is
Okpakpa?
They laugh. Very Okpakpa. You want to
for
Okpakpa for you. Now so he comes here. He does him.
Okay.
When he does him, people he did there.
That witness the dashing.
You know, for the frontage, we be say, I thank him, brother, and everything. But when the elder brother is deceased, maybe you no tell the children. No. The children say, now their papa get the land. They come they tag the younger brother as maybe he won't use power, he won't collect. The thing turn to serious fight. We be say it one father later on. But where they go there, be say, if not for the elders we witness, and yet the children they believe those elders we witness. Say no Roger.
They collaborate.
They are betting.
He don't go.
But the one way we hear, say at the end of the day, they give the land to the younger brother. But the funniest part of the story is the younger brother said, if you use the land again because they know or the whole community don't know the cast, while it don't happen. See? So people don't see easily sell it. So land dispute. Now what we grow up to meet. The thing come to
and now waiting we go live to go.
It can never be resolved.
Except the head stops.
Because these days documentation is the day. Geographical lineage the level. Say this place to this place, now my own boundary, this place to so I will say for now. Not supposed to be.
There would always be land disputes. There are so many causes of it.
Okay, we are going on this break. Most definitely, we've done an intro to this one. We'll come back. Engineer Debo will tell us what will be the causes, series of land disputes, and we'll take a soft landing by looking at if there is any solution to it. Well, he will let us know. Yes, you're welcome back, and we don't do intro to the one we will carry come today. So let me use the floor to Engineer Debo to do justice to what we dey talk about today: land dispute. What be land dispute, and what are the causes of land disputes?
Well, land dispute, like we said, e scatter. You get so many land dispute now. Waiting be say, okay, people no agree. Whether they no agree, say, now one person get the land. Whether the other person, they say, now me get am, the whole land. Or then they say, no, see, my land reach here. And another person, they say, no, your land no reach here. Or somebody, they say, we won't use this land for this thing. And another person, whether authorities, say, no, you can't use that land for that type of thing. You know, so many things like that causes land dispute. Or the one that is more prevalent, really, is the issue of now we get this land from our history or something like that. No be na get am. So,
sorry, sir, just to chip
yeah.
in something, can the Maroko case be a case study for now we get this thing? Or
What do you mean by the Maroko case? The one that they were driven out of the place and the place taken over?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure Morocco, people that are Morocco indigenes, they most definitely have their history regarding how they arrived in that location and became owners of the place customarily, you know. So government that drove them, it's not as if government owns any land anywhere, but government is holding all the land in trust.
By the land
By the land use act, holding all the land in trust.
That should be 67 if I still have my figures right.
They can decide to use any land for overriding public interest. So that's really what it is. That happened in the case of Morocco. So that's it. These are disputes. So there can be disputes as regards maybe people, like we said, the type of use to put the land to can cause disputes. Price value can cause disputes.
Yes.
This is how much my land is worth. No, that is not how much it is worth. Can cause dispute. Urbanization can cause disputes. Violent demolition can cause disputes. Maybe you want to enforce demolition and you go there, and it can cause land disputes. Because people can start to fight on it. Compensation challenges can cause disputes. You've taken their land. You now want to compensate them, but it's not easy. What you are giving to them, they think is not
does not commensurate what you've taken.
Or this, what is rampant these days, when government takes the land of a particular family, and they probably would have paid their forefathers, and like I jokingly say, 5 mothers. Probably have paid the newer generations that were not part of that compensation plan will also come up, especially when government has not used the land for the purpose. Maybe the land is still supposedly lying fallow. They will just jump on the land.
And this is our land.
And they will sell it. And they will want to cause any fight. They were ready to fight government to say that, look, this is our land. You have not paid our parents that you paid, they've died. I mean, you should do something for us. The landowning families have a particular type of mentality. So this is what I say. Every one of us are from one landowning family or the other, except you don't have a family you belong to. So if we do better individually, the people we call homonyless, they will be better. But I think the major challenge really is also that we all need to be considerate of one another. I mean, the government, the homonyle, and the other parties, we all need to be considerate of one another. If we are, things will be a lot better. So sharing of somebody's let's say assets, diseased assets, can also cause disputes. Between families and all. You are sharing somebody's property, it can cause dispute. Landowner and human rights violation. If a landowner violates human rights, it can cause dispute. For example, one major crime on a property is to have to be the theater where somebody lost his life. If your land, somebody is killed as a result of maybe argument or whatever.
Yes, the government frown at that thing seriously.
Is a major one, and that can be jail and also can actually be life sentence or things like that. I'm not a lawyer, but it's really usually a serious offense. So all of these things can cause disputes. You know, a number of these things can cause disputes. And we've seen around where ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kí ló máa ń sọ náà? Yorùbá sọ ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kíní kan lámọ̀.
Ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ogun lámọ̀.
Àmọ́ parí ẹ̀. We've seen dispute that could have been better handled, but for ego reasons or for somebody else being, I don't know how to put the word, maybe being inconsiderate or being greedy, for greed, you know, it will just be turned upside down. There are people who think that they are in power today, you know, and they use that to harass other people, forgetting that power will change hand tomorrow. Those people too, you don't want them to, if we all keep using power for ourselves whenever we get into power, there will be problem. Yeah. The society will not be a sane one. Yeah. So what I believe is that we should curtail our greed as people. Everybody has greed in them. We should curtail our greed, okay? We should be fairer to each other. But most importantly, when talking about land disputes, I think documentation matters a lot.
Oh, definitely. I was expecting you to go
Documentation is a major thing that actually helps to resolve disputes. Documenting things helps. Because no matter the land dispute, usually what still happens is that you either go to court or you sit down at the round table. A lot of times when you even go to court, somewhere in the journey of the matter, you will call yourselves and want to settle out of court.
Ben.
So you sit down. And when you sit down, even when it is mediation and things like that, the thing that really would win or sway the discussion in favor of one person as against the other are documents that you have. You know, are documents. For example, when we say deceased person's land causes land dispute, why is it causing land dispute? Because the guy did not put down how he wants his property to be shared before he died. So,
and it gave us scripture. They say, put your house in order. Yeah. Put your house in order.
And how will, I mean, people know how you want to share it?
Okay, let's take Emeka.
If you did not put it down.
Yes, sorry, sir. Let's take
Emeka from Anambra.
Emeka Kekime.
Is this Onitsha you are calling from?
Opiweka. Hear me? Okay, let's try. Let him try to call us back. Sorry, sir. There's something I want us to talk about on this land dispute, which I feel will be beneficial to viewers out there, most especially people, young land buyers, people who say their own land are just 1 plot, 2 plots, but where you don't turn to predominant act. And I don't hear most of our Agbalagba elders to react to it. There has been this convention that if person buy land, maybe if I buy land now, I'll go carry soja, say, so that Omonle no can't disturb. I want you to react on this from your experience. But at the end of the day, people who they sell land to, they always advise, say, money where you go give soldier. Yes, soldier good. They might not be able to go there and everything, but yet too, you see that with soldier, some of them still they go there, but yet they always advise young buyers or new buyers that money where you go give soldier, give us, make we take and buy, go will pray for you, because maybe soldier go live there. Now you go still live there last time, and we and you go there. Say good, make it build house this year, make it born next year. You know all those kind of things. But some people will still believe, no, they're extorting me, I have to, but when they see uniform men there, everybody will comport, I'll build my house and no fire will happen. So what's your experience or take on this?
People, if you are using force to relate, force has its place with these people. But if you are using force to...
When you say force has its place, means it is needed at times, if I get it.
Yes, reporting to the appropriate authorities to come into matters of land issues and disputes, especially when it is criminal in nature, is important. When there are threats to life and things like that, you know. But this is what I say to people. If you come into a town with a arm of soldiers, you know, with a team of soldiers, you had better be ready to live there all the days of your life with those team of soldiers.
Hmm.
Because if you can't afford to keep the soldiers there for the rest of how you are going to live, why do you want to bring them there as
Why
if
start
they are
what
going
you cannot finish?
Exactly.
Casa.
So it's usually a mix of carrot and stick approach in dealing on land issues, land disputes, and all. It's usually a bad cop, good cop kind of approach. That's what you would use, you know.
But like you now, where they buy big land, say they know they threaten you. Say when they do koko meni.
It's part of our, every business has its own hazard.
But what is because you now you be alakowi. Now if they say maybe they can't go bring banteo, someone feel bad. Say
I laugh in Spanish. You say I be alakowi because you are seeing tired of me.
You're a suit man now.
See me on site now.
Hello.
Let's meet on site.
Hello. We buy the door.
Tuale baba. Ori. Ọwọ́ méjì lókè fẹ́yàn kan. Tuale. I see.
Yeah, see, tell like this now. So if they not give antenna, it no go work.
Bante can't work on me. I'm the principal of Bante. We senior Bante.
No.
That's it.
Mama,
No, I tell people jokingly, if you are doing our type of business, you have to know God or you have to know the devil.
There you.
You have to know one of them.
Because the thing is always very scary.
And it's better to know God.
I go to society with one of my guy one time. Like, as I go this side, he means I call you. More okada mom kire. What is it? They never do anything. They just tell me. They never do anything. They just say tabalo. Tabawa pata. Taba bayimbi. Okulele data. When I just remember he magic kiri. I say egbon eja le. Leti ilonu. Leti ilonu. The people I escort you come, nígbà tí mi sọ mo nílẹ̀, and I no go see one there idea. As I, you know those places where we say if Okada dey go, sand no go let am move quick. Èmi mo sáré tí Okada go, ní resu. Wọ́n ní tá a bá lọ, tá a bá bọ̀. Why will I wait for somebody wey tell me say they come? Kí ni mo fẹ́ mú? Kí lè rè mí? Ẹ̀sà kí ni mo wá?
So what happened to your uncle?
Èmi ọmọ jẹ́ èmi ò bá wọn dá.
But you saw him later.
Yeah, èmi ò bá wọn dá.
Did you ask him again?
Maybe he run away too. And
that's what I'm saying. That did you ask him
no,
again?
Did but you know, you ever see anybody wey go lessons? Mo do the one. I just found you let do.
So does he have the land now?
You know, be even now this thing. I want to man say make he go supervise. He brother idea abroad.
Okay, now, construction.
Yeah, now construction job he collect. He want to me. If I don't say what I did, I know for say make I see you off. Mo can say no because I'm not around inside. Wọ́n lẹ́ni táwọn ọba lọ.
Táwọn ọba bọ̀ òkú lẹ́lẹ́jà ń tà.
So who am I? Kí ni títẹ̀ my wife.
When you are not the ledger, and you are not òkú.
And you see, women are very powerful. Our wives are wonderful. There is a way they will sit you down like this. I mean, ẹjọ́ dáàdi rẹ̀ kí ló kàn yín nínú tí ó kàn yín? Ṣé busy? Ṣé busy ni?
Abi,
are you not?
You are jobless.
I'm working plenty for my front. And during now they say make I go there to learn. I'm saying everything I lesson. I say Sandy. Sandy hold the tire of the Okada. Èmi ni mo ti. Yeah, ni resu. Land dispute na very very serious case where we say but the last question I'd like to ask before we go, can it ever be solved?
It can be managed always because human beings are involved and there are imperfections. When things are not documented, our memories fail us sometimes and things like that. So it can only be managed. It can't be totally eradicated.